getting late. I'm not sure if anybody else is going to check in. Oh, it's been such a long day. Oh, hi. Yeah. How are you doing? Welcome back. Okay, so you went down to the other hotel for a night. Yes. I do remember you actually, yeah. We had to send you away, right? Because, yeah, you just weren't up to speed for our hotel, I don't think. So, do you mind me asking, why did you come back? Okay, I see. Do you mind if I get a closer look here? I can barely see you. Okay. Oh, yes. You were here before. I do remember now. So, let me just look at my notes here. Let me bring it up. No, I definitely remember. You're kind of unforgettable. What? No, I was just saying, you were here before, and I remember you. Okay, I actually took some notes too, so let me see. Well, let me just double check. What was your name again? Okay, and you lived at. Oh yeah, I remember. Well, I was just saying I remember where you live. And your phone number? Okay, and I recall you had not been here before. Okay. Yes, that is true. We have a room on the 7th floor. But as I recall, you didn't really meet our standards. But let's keep going. You wanted to stay for 5 nights. Yeah, that's quite a bit. I remember I said, could you afford it, really? And I'm not so sure you can. I got your driver's license. Oh, yeah. I remember you had a FICO score of 640. Yeah, that's not so good, is it? Yeah, just not that good. And you own at that address. And I remember I looked at your total income. Yeah, it really wasn't that good as far as being able to afford a place like that. But anyway, we went on and I looked at your retirement accounts, I remember. You had no emergency fund. And you had some investments, but not very much. What was your age again? Okay, 34. Yeah, that's not good. Well, I was just saying that's you should probably have a little bit more going on for yourself at this point. But let's keep going. Yeah, then we talked about your Mercedes. You still have the Mercedes that you lease, obviously, right? Because it was just a day ago that you were here. What else did you do? Your lease payment on the car was $925. Well, no, I'm just looking over everything because it really would be nice if you could stay here at our hotel. But my notes indicate you failed every wealth indicator. So, it is getting kind of late. If you don't mind me just asking real quick, why did you come back? Okay. So you really want to work on your finances? All right. Well, do you have some time? I mean, have a seat. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely talk a little bit. I don't mind talking to you about this, but I do have to. Yeah. Well, it just helps because in a minute I'm going to take a look at your wealth indicators a little more closely. And so I just need to have these eye protector shades on because I have a debt detector that I'm going to bring out here in just a minute, if you don't mind. And we can, talk through why you came back. So talk to me. what made you want to come back after I kind of slammed you before? Because that's basically what happened. I said, you can't stay here. You can't afford it. We only want people that can truly afford to stay here, So talk to me. What actually happened? Okay, I'll just take a few notes. Wow, okay. Really? Okay. Hmm. Really? Okay. How many years ago was that? Okay. And what about your friends? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let me just start by saying I commend you for what you're telling me right now. I mean, I'm like a total stranger to you. I just run this hotel, and as you indicated, it's important for me to make sure that people stay here that can truly afford it. Because as I told you last time, most people buy things that they truly can't afford. And you got it right. They do that because they think they can afford the minimum payments. And that might be true. You might be able to afford minimum payments on your leased Mercedes, right? But when you think about the bigger picture of what you have going on, maybe you really can't afford it. And I commend you for having that awareness right now, because most people would not admit that. In fact, most people would not have come back to this hotel to talk to me about the troubles and things that they've gone through. So, again, I commend you for having that awareness. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you think you could do to turn your situation around? Because, I mean, let's face it, if you do want to turn your situation around, who do you think is going to make that happen? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, nobody's going to come to you with a wooden spoon and say that you have to make changes. Nobody. It's going to be entirely up to you if you ever want to make changes. So, do you think that the fact that I came down on you so hard and I was making fun of you a little bit about the fact that you can't really afford to stay in our hotel, is that one of the reasons why you finally kind of woke up this morning and decided to come back? Yeah. Yeah, that's really great. So a few minutes ago I said that I have a debt detector. So if you don't mind, I just want to take this and, look around a little bit to see exactly what you have going on, if you don't mind. Okay. Okay. Just look up over here. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, you're right. You don't have too much debt. I don't really see too much debt going on there. Maybe over here. I'm not sure. Not too much. Not too much debt. However, yeah, thank you for letting me do that. There's not much debt going on, but as you shared with me before, remember your income, your total income is relatively low. I mean, it's not a high salary, it's not a low salary, it's kind of like right in the middle. But for you to spend the money to stay in a hotel right now, when you don't have an emergency fund especially, is probably not the smartest thing for you to be doing. Tell me, why were you actually coming to this hotel? Just to get away. Okay. Well, I would suggest you go back home and start thinking about, and we can meet several times if you would like, but as I saw before, remember you live in a very expensive, not only house, but a very expensive neighborhood just in general. I mean, would you agree? Yeah. So you're very young. How old were you? 30 something? Yeah, goodness. I mean, come on. Your income, not that bad. Again, you're just living way above your means, like most people. But you don't want to be like most people. Wouldn't you rather make changes now when you're young and you have the ability to make changes before you get too deep into debt? Isn't that something you truly want to do? And if I were to ask you, why do you think you haven't been doing that, what would you say? Yeah. Your friends? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it's pretty powerful, I think, peer pressure. We obviously, when we're in high school and we're children, we are subject to peer pressure, obviously. And as we grow into adulthood, then we kind of take that with us. It's really not good. You have to have, again, awareness. You have to have self-confidence and say to yourself, I'm going to rise above this and I'm going to do better. I'm going to live within my means so that I can create a financial destiny. And the first way to do that is, obviously, I'll take a closer look into all of your finances, if you would allow me. I'll look at everything you have going on, your income, your expenses. It's going to take some time. We'll build a budget, etc. But obviously, what I'm saying right now is you are house poor. Do you know what that means? Yeah. You have too big of a house, obviously. So there I am, going back to being arrogant. But I should be compassionate as well, right? Which I am, but it just irritates me that people just don't always get it. And that's okay. It happens. But I'm so happy again that you came back to the hotel to talk through this and to admit to yourself, basically, because I'm just a person you're talking to that runs a hotel, right? I talk to people about their finances all the time. I help them reconfigure their finances and help them build wealth. But they can only make that happen by first accepting the fact that they've made mistakes. And I think that is where you are. Would you agree? Yeah. And by the way, for me, just to give you a little bit of background, I obviously, when I was your age, I was a financial train wreck also. Didn't start really saving and investing until my 40s, believe it or not. I'm 58 right now. It's taken a lot of years to get to where I wanted to be. But if you continue to go down this path, you're just going to continue to get into more debt and more debt and more debt. You really do not want that. So number one, you're house poor. How do you feel about selling the house? Yeah. Well, given the fact that you don't want to sell the house tells me that you still have a little ways to go because you cannot afford that home. You either have to get your income up substantially and find a much better job or sell that house. Could you sell it for a profit right now? A little bit? Well, that would definitely be number one. Number two, your leased Mercedes. Come on. Are you kidding me? Why are you leasing a Mercedes? Yeah. Makes you look good, doesn't it? And those clothes you're wearing? Yeah. I know, we talked about that before. And your shoes? You spend a lot of money on that outfit. Look at my outfit, for example. This shirt I've had since 2012 or 13 maybe 14, 2014. Still looks nice, doesn't it? Don't you think? This jacket I bought in 2006. This ring I paid $3 for. Not bad, right? Now these glasses, yeah, these are Ray-Bans, so I did spend a little bit of money there. And this watch, this was a gift. Not a gift, but something I got from my company when I was with them for 20 years. It's a Seiko. Yeah, I've got other watches too. But my point is, you can buy quality. Like this jacket was relatively expensive at the time, right? In 2006. I still have it. It's many years later. You know, some people grow out of their clothes because they get fat. They get older and they just don't watch their weight, etc. So buy quality, keep your weight down, keep your body fit so that you can go into your elder years being not only fit and fabulous, but also financially fit and fabulous as well, right? Don't you want to be around for your children and your grandchildren and everything? Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but my point is, you need to buy quality and keep things for a long time. You leasing that Mercedes is nothing but a status symbol for you. Makes you feel good, right? Like you just mentioned. But who cares what people think? Why not get that Mercedes when you have $1 million or $2 billion net worth? And in fact, I have $1 million net worth right now, 1.5. And I drive a Mazda CX-5. I don't want a Mercedes. You have to go throughout your life keeping yourself in check to anchor back to what we talked about before. People think they can afford things because of the minimum payments, but it's ridiculous. You have to look at how many hours are you going to spend working to pay for something, right? So with you, we really need to go back to basics. Number one, you're going to sell the house. Number two, you're going to get rid of your Mercedes. And number three, you're going to have to get an emergency fund, right? And I can help you with all of those things. So, as we think about closing our first initial conversation, I want to thank you again for coming back to the hotel to talk to me, especially after the way I treated you before, and I'm so sorry. Sometimes people just need an awakening. And I'm so happy that you came back because you did take that awakening, you thought about it, and you came back. So, this is what I'm going to do. Remember that room I said I had? I still have it. Yeah, it's on the 7th floor. So, how would you feel about spending the night? Maybe next time we meet, we'll talk again. Get a good night's rest. Think about what I said. And we will get together and talk through more details about this plan that I have for you. And I will help guide you through all of the steps that you need to make to get to where you want to be. How's that sound? Okay? Well, here's your information. 7th floor, room 723. Yeah. All right, so have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? All right, have a good night. Wow. Some people need a little more of a push, but I'm very proud of that person that just walked out. think they're going to make it. Maybe they won't live a broken life after all.